This is 5 on 20 News with Joel Foster coming to you live from our studio in downtown Tucson. It is TGI Friday, August 18th. Let's talk local headlines. Linguist and superstar political theorist Noam Chomsky has joined the faculty of the University of Arizona. Chomsky formerly taught at MIT and got connected with the U of A when he co-taught a class at the university last spring. He will begin teaching undergraduate classes in the spring of 2018 semester, First time he's taught undergrads in over a decade. Chomsky says that he and his wife fell in love with Tucson's mountains and desert environment and says that, quote, Tucson has an atmosphere that is peaceful and manageable. In addition to teaching, the 89-year-old Chomsky will also deliver public lectures on various aspects of linguistics and political thought. Going back to at least the Vietnam War, Chomsky has been a consistent critic of U.S. foreign policy, earning his dissident credentials with a spot on Nixon's infamous enemies list. He's written dozens of books, most notably Manufacturing Consent, which dealt with the public's acceptance of U.S. aggression abroad. It's basically a left-wing art of the deal, but with big boy words. In Tucson and across Arizona, jobs in warehouse and package delivery are growing as retail jobs are shrinking, showing the shifts in our economy. Metro Tucson lost 1,100 retail jobs over the year, but gained 300 positions in the transportation, warehousing, and utilities sector. Across Arizona, transportation and warehouse jobs grew by 3,000 over the year at a 3.7% growth rate. Meanwhile, traditional retail jobs grew at a measly 0.4% with 1,300 jobs created. Economist Doug Walls said that traditional retail is in a transactional period as they try to carve out a position in the online retail community. According to Walls, online sales accounted for 5% of all sales in 2012, while they now account for almost 9%. Overall, Tucson job growth isn't looking so great. The city again recorded its lowest job growth in July, adding only 2,100 jobs or 0.6% growth from this time last year. Tucson's growth lagged behind the state's and other metro Arizona areas, as has been the case for months. The largest growth was seen in Yuma, Metro Phoenix, and Flagstaff. However, the continuing bright spot is that Tucson's unemployment rate is lower than this time was last year at 4.9%, which is lower than Arizona's 5.3% unemployment rate. While warehouse jobs are picking up, jobs at restaurants and bars continue to grow the fastest in Tucson. Those businesses added 1,800 jobs since this time last year for a nearly 6% growth rate. So as we can see, raising the minimum wage led to the immediate destruction of the restaurant industry, just as we were told. Two Confederate memorials located in two different areas were vandalized on Wednesday night. One monument was spray painted while another was tarred and feathered, an homage to the Revolutionary War tactic. One monument is located in downtown Phoenix, where officers discovered around 5 a.m. that the monument had been spray painted. It was later cleaned with a power washer as investigators began searching for their suspect. They described the suspect as a white male in his 40s with a gray beard, last seen wearing a hat. I think it might be Gandalf. The other memorial is located near Apache Junction on Route 60 and was found to have been covered with tar and feathers. Governor Doug Ducey condemned the vandalism and said that, quote, this isn't the way we do things in Arizona. Ducey has declined to push for the removal of the Confederate statues. But it doesn't matter anyway because the removal is decided by state boards and commissions, although the governor does approve these boards. The issue of Confederate memorials has been a constant topic of the week following the violence last weekend in Charlottesville, Virginia, where white supremacists gathered to... You already know what happened. The monument released a statement saying that while he regrets being vandalized, he was also kind of asking for it. So, sorry about that, memorial. If you're looking for a furry friend, then there's no perfect time than this weekend. That's because the Pima Animal Care Center is waiving adoption fees starting on Saturday, August 19th until Sunday the 20th. The event was begun because the shelter is currently at capacity and needs to clear out some of their pups and kittens to make room for a squad to come in. There are more than 650 pets waiting to be adopted right now at PACC, according to a press release. All adopted pets are spayed and neutered, have their current shops are microchipped, and you get one vet visit with an adoption. Not a bad deal. The Pima Animal Care Center is located at 4000 North Silver Bell Road. And if that weren't enough, the Hermitage No-Kill Cat Shelter is also holding their Clear the Shelter event also this weekend. The shelter will offer low-cost adoption fees with kittens priced at $15, adult cats up to 7 years old at $15, and older cats at $5. Seriously, you're going to spend $15 on an overpriced cocktail this weekend. Get a kitten instead. It'll make you happier, guaranteed. The Hermitage No-Kill Cat Shelter and Sanctuary is located at 5278 East 21st Street in Tucson. Or you can visit cleartheshelters.com for information or to pick out your new kitten friend. Good luck with that. Arizona Representative Raul Grijalva announced that he will come to Phoenix on Tuesday to lead a counter-protest against the appearance of the president, who will appear at the Phoenix Convention Center for a rally. Grijalva posted a video on his Facebook page where he said that he is protesting Trump's response to the violence that occurred in Charlottesville. Trump spoke this week comparing the far-right white supremacists with left-wing counter-protesters. He's also protesting, Grijalva is also protesting the expected pardoning of disgraced former Sheriff Joe Arpaio, which Trump has hinted at. Grijalva criticized the president as being, quote, unhinged and called the Charlottesville violence bizarre. He said that Trump's comments gave justification to the people who fundamentally go against the values of this nation. Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton has also asked Trump to delay his visit because of the racial tensions surrounding last weekend's events. Responding to Stanton, Trump said that he would not only come to Phoenix, but he would buy a house there. A great, big, tremendous house right next to Greg Stanton. Don't mess with Trump. Now, in national and international news. A lawsuit was settled against two psychologists who were paid tens of millions of dollars to design torture techniques used by the CIA in so-called black site prisons around the world. Two of the plaintiffs in the case, Abdullah Salim, who is Tanzanian, and Mohammed Ben Saud, who is Libyan, were held and tortured in 2003 at a secret CIA facility in Afghanistan that prisoners called the Darkness. A third plaintiff, an Afghan named Gul Rahman, was tortured to death at the same site in 2002. They sued psychologists James Mitchell and John Jessen, who designed abusive interrogation methods for the CIA, and were paid between $75 and $81 million. The plaintiffs sought damages from the men for aiding and abetting torture, non-consensual experimentation, and war crimes. The psychologists admitted to helping the CIA, but claimed that the torture occurred without their knowledge. This is the first time that architects of the torture program, which was active under the Bush administration, were brought to trial. Previous suits relating to the CIA's interrogation program were dismissed by both the Bush and Obama administrations when they intervened, claiming that state secrets would be at risk. But a 2014 report by the Senate Intelligence Committee proved that the three men were subjected to torture at the black sites, along with 36 other individuals. That was back when we cared about that kind of stuff. Guess we moved on. On Thursday, the government watchdog Public Citizen became the fourth group to sue the Trump administration over White House visitor logs. Public Citizen sent numerous requests from April to July of this year, asking for visitor records for 4 offices at the White House. The Secret Service denied or did not answer to 3 open records requests. They claim that the information was not covered under the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, because they're property of the White House under the Presidential Records Act. However, the 4 offices that received the requests are not covered under the Presidential Records Act. These offices include the Office of Management and Budget, the Office of Science and Technology and Policy, the Office of National Drug Control Policy, and the Council on Environmental Quality. The Obama administration also resisted releasing visitor logs, but began to release them after several similar lawsuits by Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics, or CREW. CREW is also part of this particular lawsuit. In April, the White House announced that it would withhold the visitor logs because of national security concerns. Again, ironically, Trump criticized Obama for not turning over the records in a 2012 tweet where he asked, "Why is Barack Obama spending millions to try and hide his records?" Great question, Donald. Great question. All right, rural hospitals are suffering from a lack of doctors, partly because of the Trump administration's travel ban, which prevents doctors from countries such as Somalia, Yemen, a bunch of others, from entering the U.S. About a quarter of all doctors in the U.S. are foreign-born and typically obtain a J-1 visa, which requires that an immigrant return to their home country within 2 years after their medical residency ends. However, because of the travel ban, dozens of Pakistani physicians have had their J-1 visas denied. Shahzad Iqbal, the head of Committee on Young Physicians, said that he's personally had 34 J-1 denials reported to this group. But he says these are only the numbers reported to him, so it's likely just the tip of the iceberg. He said that he's seen increases in visa denials before, such as after 9/11, but nothing compares to this. Typically, he said he receives about 1 or 2 denials per year. Pakistan is one of the top suppliers of doctors to the U.S., second only to India. In 2015, there were over 12,000 doctors of Pakistani descent, according to the U.S. Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Of the 2,766 international medical graduates who received J-1 visas in 2017, 257 of them were from Pakistan. While Pakistan is not on the travel ban list officially, Pakistanis face an extra level of scrutiny because of their geography and political issues. The U.S. has launched a sustained campaign of drone bombings in the country since 9/11, and Pakistan continues to be a haven for Taliban fighters who sneak into Afghanistan. Immigration lawyers say that they are not aware of a group other than Pakistanis that saw a significant increase in J-1 visas denied. They say that this will increase the already alarming doctor shortage in the U.S. Nowhere will the doctor shortage be felt more than the rural areas that largely voted for Trump. By 2025, the U.S. will have a physician shortfall between 61,000 and 94,000 doctors, with the bulk of these shortages in rural areas of the U.S. Guess you should have listened to your mother and become a doctor. All right, the Philippine war on drugs ratcheted up this week with 60 people killed by police in the last 3 days, according to Reuters. Police killed 28 people Wednesday night after a crackdown in the Philippine capital of Manila as President Rodrigo Duterte intensified his efforts to rid the country of drugs. This followed 32 killings by police on Monday night during a raid in Bulacan province, which borders the capital. This marks the deadliest period of the drug crackdown that has already killed thousands of Filipinos and caused international concern since Duterte took office over a year ago. According to official police reports, 223 people were arrested in Manila and Bulacan after 84 operations were launched in the two regions. Nowhere in the reports does it mention the killings. Funny. Duterte said that it was good that the 32 criminals had been killed in Bulacan, saying, "Let's kill another 32 every day. Maybe we can reduce what ails this country." On Thursday, he said that he would not only pardon the police who killed the drug dealers, but that he would promote them. Duterte launched his war on drugs the day after being elected. Since the end of July, police said that over 3,400 people had been killed in their operations. Most of the people killed were either drug users or small-time drug dealers. Responding to the news, Donald Trump seethed with jealousy, wondering out loud why he wasn't allowed this degree of latitude. This was 5 on 20 News with Joel Foster. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook accounts for all the latest Creative Tucson content. Feel free to bother us at info@creativetucson.org. All right, I'm going to be right back with you in a minute with my segment This Week in Mediocrity. See you in a sec.